Evening. We won't go quietly. The Legion can count on that.
Hey, welcome aboard.
We won't go quietly. The Legion can count on that.
Hello. I don't handle buying and selling for the gunrunners. Talk to the robot in the kiosk near our factory. For around 5 years now, I handle the supply end of things, raw materials and stuff. Out here, we don't have bosses. Me, the gunsmiths, and the guards all know what we're supposed to be doing. Working for the gunrunners is a sweet job. None of us would dare screw it up. Makers of the finest high-grade weapons and ammunition in the wasteland. If you ever get your hands on a piece of sweet, deadly hardware, there's a good chance that it came from one of our factories. Later.
Hey there. Here's the rest of the payment I promised you back in Good Springs. I'll see you around.
Hello.
If you're looking to buy or sell, you've come to the right man. The Crimson Caravan Company has the widest selection in the wasteland. Can do. Maybe. What do you want to know? Trade routes, my friend. Trade routes. Just about every major town in the wasteland has a Crimson Caravan branch in it. Out here, we usually split our caravans into smaller bands. That way, we don't lose everything if they get hit. It's not very efficient, though. But hopefully, we'll be able to start running larger caravans once things get civilized. A little place in the NCR called Oak Creek. Used to be a farming town until it got taken over by ranchers. I didn't want to herd Brahmin for a living, so I signed on with the Crimson Caravan and headed east. Not much to tell, really. Need anything else? See ya.
Welcome to the Crimson Caravan Company, New Vegas branch. What may I do for you? I'm afraid we have no current openings for caravanners or guards, but I am in need of a runner. Deliver this invoice to Dr. Hildern. You can find him somewhere inside Camp McCarran. Certainly. What would you like to know? Normally, I oversee company operations at the hub in California. However, the New Vegas branch has been underperforming in recent years. Given the conditions here, it's not hard to see why. I'll change all that soon enough. The Crimson Caravan Company has been in business for over 130 years. We're partially responsible for the progress in the NCR. Well, the gunrunners continue to dominate the weapons market, and the Mormon traders from New Canaan control the majority of the northern routes. All right. Is there anything else I can do for you? Certainly. What would you like to know? All right. Is there anything else I can do for you? It's been a pleasure.
Help you?
The only rule in Freeside is don't mess with the kings. Hey man, what are you up to?
Later. What's up?
This man's prices are steep, but I hear he's worth it.
This gentleman and I were just settling on a price. I'm afraid you'll have to hire one of the others this time around.
You want to travel through Freeside with ease, you hire a king. We're everywhere, and no one messes with us. Your safety is practically guaranteed for just 100 caps. Great. As long as you're in Freeside, I'll be hanging out by side. It'll be a blast. But I'm only sticking around as long as you're in Freeside. You leave, and you'll find me gone as well. So where to?
Need some grub? I got you covered. Cheap and filling. Typically, I find it goes down better if I leave people guessing. So what do you say? Want some? I have my little helpers out and about, always looking for fresh things to add to the stew pot. You may have seen them around somewhere yourself. Now deny your hunger no longer. You won't regret it, at least until an hour or so from now.
We're gonna have rat tonight. We've got stuff we're not even allowed to sell, people. Stop by Mick and Ruff's for all your shopping needs, sir.
Howdy.
Looking for a fix, man? I got what you need. Have a look, baby. Give me a shout if you need anything else. Have a look, baby. I'm sure I'll hear about you again soon.
Howdy.
Hey there. Hey, buddy. Spare a cap? I can make it worth your while. Ha ha ha! Oh, that's rich. You're not exactly my type. No offense. No, I meant I could give you a tip. Earn my money, so to speak. You look like you're new around here, so I'm sure I know all sorts of things you'd find useful. If not, well, it's only a cap. So what do you say? The first thing you should know is that Freeside is run by a pack of yahoos that call themselves the Kings. Their leader, who oddly enough calls himself the King, currently has his hands full trying to prevent an all-out riot in Freeside. That's 2 tips, but what the hell? You're a new customer, so the extra one's on me. Wanna hear another? Northwest of the big Freeside sign is a casino called the Atomic Wrangler. It's not as fancy as the ones on the Strip, but there's still plenty of excitement to be found there. That one was pretty good, right? How about another? I've heard the Garrets over at the Atomic Wrangler are having a hard time collecting some money owed to them. An enterprising person like yourself might be able to make some caps helping them with their little problem. I got more where that came from. Want another? At the northwest end of Fremont Street, you'll find the Silver Rush. It's run by a rather scary family called the Van Graffs. These are not people you want to mess with. But if lasers and such are your thing, the goods they sell are second to none. That one was pretty good, right? How about another? The chairmen run a casino on the strip called The Tops. It's a pretty classy place by all reports. I haven't been there myself, but I hear security there is kinda tight. That one was pretty good, right? How about another? The Omertas, one of Mr. House's 3 families, run a casino called Gomorrah on the Strip. If you thought the Wrangler was something, you owe it to yourself to go there. That one was pretty good, right? How about another? Things have generally been bad here for the squatters, the people who came here hoping for a better life and just got stuck. But lately, the mood has changed. The squatters seem to be a bit more optimistic. I wonder what happened. That one was pretty good, right? How about another? Saw a strange thing the other day. The king took that robo-dog of his over to the old Mormon fort. Weird thing was that the dog was flipping out and had to be restrained by a few of the king's men. Hope he doesn't get loose. I got more where that came from. Want another? The NCR used to run a prison to the southwest, but something happened a little while back, and now all you'll get is hard looks if you ask about it. What do you say? Want another tip? I probably don't have to tell you that Freeside's dangerous, but you might want to think twice about hiring one of those guards at the gates. They're not all saints, is all I'm saying. That one was pretty good, right? How about another? There's a rumor that a huge army is camped to the east, massing to attack the NCR. Like that'd ever happen. Who in the world could stand up to the NCR and win? I got more where that came from. Want another? Traders have been griping for a while now about I-15 being too dangerous to travel. I'd steer clear of it unless you're armed to the teeth. That one was pretty good, right? How about another? Caught a rumor the other day that some of the clientele over at the Wrangler have been making some rather strange requests. Stuff like weirdos wanting the services of ghouls and such. I almost have half a mind to volunteer myself, sexy beast that I am. What do you say? Want another tip? There was a rumor a while back that the White Glove Society was really an all-ghoul gang, which is why they wear those weird masks of theirs. What do you think? Would I look good in a mask? Maybe I'd make more caps. What do you say? Want another tip? A traveler that passed through here not long ago told everyone he met that there's some kind of plant paradise to the west, where food is abundant. All the people foolish enough to listen to him and head out that way never came back. What do you say? Want another tip? There's a guy out on the main drag who sells second-hand adventuring gear. He's got an okay selection, but where does it come from? What do you say? Want another tip? East of Freeside, there's an old Air Force base, judging by the road signs. No one knows for sure what's in there, though, on account of anyone approaching the place getting violently blown up. That one was pretty good, right? How about another? In the area between the north and east gates is the old Mormon fort, where the followers of the apocalypse have set themselves up. The followers aren't a bad bunch, and provide healing and supplies to the people of Freeside as they can. That one was pretty good, right? How about another? Have you tried going to the Strip only to be stopped by those big metal murder machines? Happens every day around here. But if you know the right people, you can get through the gate without being a rich man. I got more where that came from. Want another? He might not look it, but Ralph for Mick and Ralph's is no slouch with a keyboard. I've heard he's helped reprogram several robots in his time. I got more where that came from. Want another? I've heard people passing through mention some kind of underground fights pitting creatures of the waste against one another for sport. And when I say underground, that's their word I'm using, not my own. What do you say? Want another tip? Ever hear of the gun runners? They sell just about every kind of firearm you can imagine. And some you probably couldn't. I got more where that came from. Want another? Drugs are everywhere in Freeside, and even people you might not expect have become addicts. Jacob Hoff, for instance. That man was a brilliant chemist before he picked up the habit. Now, just another junkie. That King Pacer's a fan of Jet, too, though I heard one of the followers talking about it being dangerous for him. Something about his heart. Do yourself a favor and stay away from that stuff, okay? I got more where that came from. Want another? I heard something about a town south of here being attacked, but details are sketchy. All I know is there haven't been any refugees showing up here, which means either the attack wasn't too bad, or it was very, very bad. That one was pretty good, right? How about another? Mention the NCR and people around here get a little on edge. There's talk that they're going to take over all of New Vegas. It doesn't help that they've got military camps all over the place, and more troops pour into the area daily. That one was pretty good, right? How about another? If you've been around the Kings, you may have met one of them named Pacer. He's always stomping around trying to show off his authority. Being new, you weren't around when it happened, but a few months ago, Pacer pissed off the Van Graff family big time. No one knows what went down, but word is the Van Graffs still want him dead. What do you say? Want another tip? People in Freeside generally fall into one of two categories. Those who've been here all their lives call themselves locals. When people from the NCR and other places started pouring in, the locals began referring to them as squatters, and the name stuck. The locals blame the squatters for the scarcity of resources in Freeside, and the squatters blame any act of violence against them on the locals. They're both right to some extent, and violent outbreaks between the two are all too common these days. What do you say? Want another tip? The Strip is run by the three families, who owe their allegiance to Mr. House. When he first showed up, he gave the local tribes the choice of working with him, or getting the hell out of his way. Given how things turned out, I know which way I'd have gone. But hindsight's 20/20, right? I got more where that came from. Want another? Have you been to Mick and Ralph's yet? They run a store just down the street, and sell some things you might not expect. That one was pretty good, right? How about another? While everyone knows Mr. House runs New Vegas, no one knows the first thing about him. He just sorta showed up a few years back, and everything you see around you is the result. Just who in the hell is he? That one was pretty good, right? How about another? I understand. Well, have a good day.
Yep.
Hello there. If you're looking for guns, talk to Mick. Otherwise, I've got a nice selection of general supplies. Goodbye.
Welcome to Mick and Ralph's. If you need guns, I'm your man. For general supplies and other services, see my partner Ralph. Have a look. Give me a shout if you need anything else. Sure, let's see what you've got. Things were better when the Omertas were buying, but we get by. Good selection from traders, and the Van Graffs keep things running. That's the thing. I have no idea. They just stopped buying guns all of a sudden. If you hear anything, let me know. Anything else I can help you with? Why? Do you work for one of the casinos? In that case, yes I do. Follow me. Like I always say, a polite society is an armed society.
Morning. Hey, what can I get you? I only offer services if the king gives the okay. Impress him and we can talk. Alright. Yeah, I've got a little side business going. What I'm about to share with you does not leave this room, eh? Over the years, I've gradually perfected my craft to the point of perfection. No one can distinguish between my work and the real thing. What I'm referring to is passports. If you've got the caps, I can whip up a strip passport which will fool even the most well-trained eye. Hey, if you're interested and have the caps, they go for 500. Any less and it ain't worth the risk of getting caught. What do you say? You game? No problem. If you need one later, just stop in. What do you want to know? Anything else I can help you with? Take a gander. Come back anytime. Morning.
Howdy.
Hey. Check it out, between the dumpsters there. What's your rush? The boys and I here want to get to know you better. I've got...
This is hope!
We've got stuff we're not even allowed
Howdy.
to sell,
What's
people.
up?
Only at Mick and Ralph's.
The king controls the water pump. If you want water, you need to pay like everyone else. If we let everyone run amok, the damn NCR would shut us down. Gotta have some way to regulate usage. Just a few caps for a good long swig. Anything else you want?
Later.
Hey.
Welcome to the Silver Rush, New Vegas' best source of laser and plasma weapons.
You want to get your hands on some of the deadliest weapons around? Head just down the street to the Silver
baby.
Rush.
Head
You
on
won't
down to
be
the Atomic
disappointed.
Wrangler if you want to have a good time.
I've got my eye on you.
Welcome to the Atomic Wrangler. What can I get you? I have some work I need handled. Back before we instituted the caps up front rule, we used to allow customers tabs. Well, needless to say, a few customers snuck out without paying their bills. We need someone to collect. The job would pay a percentage. I'd prefer you not kill anyone with a debt. It's a bit difficult to collect on a corpse. Just get the caps from them. After that, I couldn't care less what happens to those deadbeats. If you bring all their debts back, we'll give you a cut of each. 25% is more than fair. It would add up to 150 caps if you bring them all in. All right, 50-50 it is, but you better bring back all of the caps. If we hear you crossed us, the next bounty hunter will be coming for you. Great. There are 3 people who need to be tracked down. A real mixed basket of fruits. Their names are Grex, Santiago, and Lady Jane. Grex is a bit cracked, but mostly harmless. Just don't mention anything about his lazy eye. He owes 138 caps and should still be around Freeside. Lady Jane fancies herself a high roller, but she's just another dirtbag NCR prospector. I'm not sure where to find her. I hear she's run goods for the followers of the Apocalypse in the past, but other locals might know more. She owes us 250 caps. Santiago is a suave son of a bitch, but a total pansy when it comes to fisticuffs. He owes 212 caps and should be around Freeside as well. Anything else you need? Caps up front. We don't do tabs here. Since you're new, I'll lay out the rules for you. The prostitutes here aren't slaves. They decide who they service. You best make a good first impression if you want what they have to offer. Rooms are just a few caps a night. Your choice of company is extra, assuming anyone's taken a liking to you. Rooms are just a few caps a night. Your choice of company is extra, assuming anyone's taken a liking to you. We've got liquor, chems, and whores aplenty. Pick your fix and we'll oblige. Our only rule is no sampling the merchandise. Caps paid in advance. If you'd like to do a bit of gambling, we have an exchange at the back of the casino on the left. Just a few caps and it's yours. Up the steps, last room on the left. If you leave the Wrangler, we'll assume you're checking out. Later.
Welcome to the Atomic Wrangler. What can I get you? We've got the basics covered, but now you mention it, we have had unusual requests from some of our wealthier customers. If you can recruit escorts to match these customers' proclivities, I'd be willing to pay you finder's fees. Our wealthiest client has a thing for ghouls and a thing for cowboys. He wants an escort who can satisfy both fetishes. Plenty of customers have said they'd be willing to pay extra for a suave talker, someone who can fake the boyfriend experience real good. And then there's these disgusting robot fetishists you may have heard about. Well, those creeps want a sex bot. If you ever run across a sex bot, not that I'd ever want one within 100 feet of me, but I gotta be a businessman about it. Just don't rough up the merchandise before delivery. You break it, you bought it. Okay, you got yourself a deal. Find escorts to fill the positions, and I'll pay double. Just direct them to the Wrangler. I'll pay you when they show up. The best place to start would be with Ralph, at Mick and Ralph's over on the east end of Freeside. Other than that, your guess is as good as mine. We ain't scraping to get by, if that's what you're asking. Sure, take a look. For the right caps, I might be able to put in a good word, or let people know you're not such a bad guy. What do you have in mind? Alright, I can chat you up, but it's gonna cost you. I'm not risking my reputation around here for nothing. What do you need, then? Talk to you later.
Hello.
Whoa, baby. Am I looking at a mirror? Or are you just that ugly? Whoa, Nelly. There's insult comedy, and then there's psycho comedy. I guess you aren't the heckler Garret hired to spice up my show. What do you want? Eesh, is my act that bad? Or are you just that dumb? Yeah, that's right. Got me a nice juicy contract with the management. Okay, I admit it. I ain't exactly rowing in caps here, but what do you want? I'm under contract. I can't get out. Either you need to get your eyes checked, or that famous fleeting thing is true. And since I happen to be world famous, you must be going blind. Name's Hadrian. Bet you never saw a ghoul in a suit before, huh? Course, you don't exactly strike me as the worldly type. Yeah, go on. Scram.
Welcome to the Atomic Wrangler. Looking to exchange? How many chips would you like? Here's your chips. Is there anything else I can help you with? Till next time. Welcome to the Atomic Wrangler. Looking to exchange? In what currency would you like your payout? Non-caps currencies will have fractions paid out in caps. Caps it is. Will there be anything else? Till next time.